Dear Pi pioneers, I am one of the co-founders of Pi Network. As a computer scientist and expert in social behavior, I have always faced all questions with a scientific, objective, and honest attitude. Of course, the window of this channel is limited, and our time and energy are also limited. We cannot answer every question, but we will consider singling out the issues everyone cares about most, and the ones with the loudest voices for a separate discussion. Today, I received a very direct and very important question from the community. Dr. Fan, will our Pi public blockchain be the strongest in the future? How does it compare to Ethereum? This is an excellent question, and it hits the nail on the head. It points directly to the part inside many of us that cares the most and is most prone to generating expectation and anxiety. I will answer in the most frank and objective way possible. No pie in the sky promises, no avoiding reality, and no disparaging of any other project. Let us look at this issue together using facts and logic. First, I want to tell everyone very clearly in one sentence. Pi Network has not yet built a mature public blockchain comparable to Ethereum. This is a fact, not modesty, nor a shifting of responsibility. As of today, December 2025, the Pi Network mainnet is still in an early stage. We have achieved the open mainnet. Pioneers can migrate balances, self-activate wallets, conduct peer-to-peer transfers, and some basic ecosystem applications have started running. But if strictly defined by technical terms, our current mainnet is closer to a hybrid state of a permission chain with partial decentralized characteristics, transitioning toward a public chain, rather than a completely open, permissionless public chain where global developers can freely deploy smart contracts. And what about Ethereum? In 2025, Ethereum is already one of the world's most mature, most decentralized smart contract platforms, with the richest ecosystem and the most active developer community. It has undergone over a decade of iteration, experienced the major transition from POW to proof of stake, possesses thousands of decentralized applications, millions of daily active users, over $400 billion in total value locked, and is continuously audited and reinforced by top global development teams, research institutions, and security companies. So, if we directly compare the Pi mainnet and Ethereum today, objectively speaking, the two are not in the same weight class, nor are they at the same stage of development. But this does not mean Pi has no future, nor does it mean we lack unique value. On the contrary, I believe Pi Network is walking a completely different, yet equally meaningful path. Below, I will make an objective comparison with you from several key dimensions, while explaining Pi's unique positioning and the direction we are striving for. First, the degree of decentralization. Ethereum currently possesses tens of thousands of nodes, globally, distributed across all major continents, run by thousands of independent entities, individuals, institutions, mining pools, staking pools, etc. No single entity can control the network. The current number of nodes in Pi Network has grown to nearly 300 by December 2025. This is very significant progress, but they are still run by trusted pioneers, guided by the core team and early contributors. No distribution and independence are still far from reaching Ethereum's level. The gap is very obvious, but we must see Pi's decentralization path is progressive and community-driven. We started from zero, prioritizing security and stability, then gradually opening node access, lowering the threshold for running nodes, and increasing geographical distribution. This is a long but cautious process. We are moving toward higher decentralization, but currently, we are indeed still far from reaching Ethereum's level. Second, transaction throughput and performance. The actual transactions per second of the Ethereum mainnet. Layer 1 is about 15 to 30. After years of optimization and Layer 2 ecosystem development, the combined throughput capacity of the entire Ethereum ecosystem has reached thousands or even tens of thousands of transactions per second. The current design goal of the Pi mainnet is to serve daily small amount, high-frequency payments in real-world scenarios, rather than pursuing the extreme high-throughput race of decentralized finance. Our current transaction confirmation speed and throughput have already been able to meet the daily transfer needs of millions of users in internal tests. But public data and stress tests are still ongoing. Simply put, Pi at this stage does not pursue killing Ethereum in transactions per second, but pursues completing real-world payments on mobile phones with low cost, stability, and reliability. This is a completely different performance design philosophy. Third, developer ecosystem and richness of decentralized applications. This is where the gap is largest. Ethereum possesses the world's largest developer community. Solidity is the de facto smart contract development standard. Various development toolchains are extremely mature, and security libraries are widely used. From decentralized exchanges and lending protocols to non-fungible token markets and social protocols, the ecosystem is extremely rich. Pi's current situation is we have just opened the Pi App Studio and smart contract development support for the Pi blockchain, gradually opening in 2025. The developer community is still in a very early embryonic stage. We have seen some payment tools, social apps, and games developed spontaneously by pioneers. But the magnitude, maturity, and security are several orders of magnitude away from the Ethereum ecosystem. This is the most realistic gap, and also the part where we most need time and the community's joint efforts. Fourth, Pi's unique positioning and differentiated path. Seeing this, everyone might feel a little disappointed, but please continue listening to me. Pi Network has never been, and never intends to be, the next Ethereum. Our core mission and differentiated path are 1. Mobile first plus mass mining. Pi is historically the first crypto project to truly achieve mobile mining zero threshold, participation by tens of millions of ordinary people globally. This is an unprecedented social experiment, and also our greatest unique advantage. 2. Real-world payment as the primary goal. We hope Pi ultimately becomes the most commonly used digital cash in the hands of ordinary people, rather than a speculative asset existing only in exchanges and decentralized finance. This determines that we care more about low transaction costs, fast confirmation, and user-friendly experience, rather than pursuing extreme decentralization or maximum throughput. 3. Progressive, ultra-safe mainnet launch strategy. Ethereum is a radical model of launch first, iterate later. Pi chose the conservative strategy of close first, open gradually. This makes our risk lower, but also makes progress look slower. 4. True community scale dividend. Ethereum's active users and developers are in the millions. Pi's registered users have exceeded 60 million, and users who passed KYC exceed 17,500,000 data as of December 2025. Once the scale is converted into real users and developers, it will generate a massive network effect. But the premise is we must first lay a solid foundation. Fifth, several possibilities for the future Pi, public blockchain, to become the strongest. Although Pi cannot be called the strongest at this stage, if the following situations occur in the future, we indeed have the possibility of becoming one of the global leading public chains in certain dimensions. 1. Achieving the ultimate in the real-world daily payment track. If Pi becomes the preferred digital currency for global small-amount cross-border payments, street vendors, and daily transactions in developing countries, then its actual usage volume and user stickiness might exceed Ethereum. 2. Forming a unique ecosystem of mobile native plus large-scale users plus low cost. If we can convert the mobile habits, social relationships, and security circle trust networks of over 60 million users into a new type of decentralized social finance infrastructure, that will be a brand new field currently not covered by Ethereum. 3. Achieving de facto local currency status in certain countries or regions. In regions with unstable currencies and severe inflation, if Pi becomes a stable value storage, an exchange medium actually held and used daily by people, then its actual influence might far exceed technical parameters. These are not fantasies of surpassing Ethereum, but possibilities of becoming a top player on different tracks. 6. My true judgment and promise to the community. Finally, I want to summarize in the plainest words. The Pi public blockchain is currently far less mature than Ethereum. It is also difficult for the Pi public blockchain to comprehensively surpass Ethereum in technical indicators in the short term, the next 2 to 3 years. But Pi is walking a completely different, highly pioneering path. The success or failure of this path ultimately does not depend on whether we are stronger than Ethereum, but on whether we can truly enable tens of millions of ordinary people to complete payments, transfers, and value storage using Pi in the real world. My confidence in Pi has never been built on the slogan, "We want to become the strongest public chain," but on the following 3 points. 1. We have already created the largest mobile mining community in history. 2. We have persisted for more than 6 years without giving up or running away. 3. We are willing to use the most conservative and safest way to walk this path step by step. Dear pioneers, Pi is not here to fight in the ring with Ethereum. Pi is opening up a new track. This track is harder, slower, and requires more patience, but it may also be more meaningful. We do not need to become the strongest public chain. We need to become the most useful, most credible, and easiest to use digital currency for the most ordinary people. We are still walking this path. This path requires you to continue walking down it with me. Thank you for your continued trust, patience, and real feedback. No matter where Pi ultimately goes in the future, I will continue to stand with everyone with a scientific, candid, and responsible attitude. Sincerely, thank you everyone. If you have questions, you can also contact us at any time. We will see you tomorrow.